986 Boxster S, 2004. The motor is puts out 258 horsepower according to Porsche. I had it dynoed the other day. We'll be looking at the dyno shortly, so that I have a baseline before I do my modification. The modification that I'm going to be doing today is the installation of a 987 Air box into this car, 986. It's a bigger air box, and the idea is to let more air come through. But with it, I'm also installing the larger tube and the 74 millimeter throttle body. This is a throttle body that was used in the 996, maybe in the 987 as well. Adapting that onto a 987 plenum tube, and so we'll see how that goes. I'm anticipating quite a job getting the old airbox out and the bigger airbox into place. One way would be to drop the engine a couple of inches. That's might be a good way to do it. I've decided to try and put it in just by moving a few things aside, maybe the fuel rail and the intake tubes, things like that. But we'll be seeing how that goes. Okay, so I'm going to be doing this video in well, at least 2, maybe 3 parts. The first part will be the destruction, will be the removal of the old airbox, and we'll see what that entails. The modification of the new airbox, because it does have to be modified, and the installation of the new airbox. So this is the 987 airbox that I'm planning to put into the Boxster, and you'll see that it has here, where I'll go around the other side. This MAF tube here is the 987 MAF tube. Again, with the 987 MAF, I'm hoping to get the special edition tune put into it. So let's take a look at this. We can flip this over like this, and I'll show you something else. This here is a muffler, and you'll see a line across here where I'm going to be cutting this part around here, and I'll be removing this section here. The tube inside will not be touched. This is just a muffler part. There's a hole in here that you'll see at another shot that needs to be changed, or needs to be plugged rather. And here's the hole plugged with a disc of the same ABS material glued in with JB Weld. I think one of the first things that I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to remove the trunk lid. This will give me better access to the engine compartment when I put the hood into service mode and have access to the engine bay. This hatch here is the standard 986 one. The 987 hatch, which I do not have, is lighter. It's in aluminum, but also I believe that it leaves a little more space in the motor area, and the new plenum that I'm going to be putting in, the 987, is a bit bigger, and I've heard that perhaps it needs to be changed, the lid needs to be changed in order to have a little more room. That remains to be seen. We'll do the job, and if the lid doesn't go on, then I'll either, I don't know, modify this one. It would be kind of hard because it looks like it's in fiberglass. Or maybe I can procure a 987 lid. If you look over here, there's the box. Box is up there. Down here is the 986 MAF. Okay, so that will be, you see that is stuck up right against the box, and now that will be in the other model, in the 987 model, it's further down line, so it'll be down in this area somewhere. Okay, because it makes the curve there, comes around, and then the MAF is there. Now this one here, you'll see, has this thing here. This is sort of like a muffler thing that is apparently not particularly necessary. The throttle body, this is the 68 millimeter stock throttle body, and the 986 plenum, which curves down slightly like that. The one that I'm going to be putting in is straight. I'll show you that in a minute. So first thing I'm going to do is undo this one here, this guy here, to remove the tube here, and there's a collar down there that I'm going to remove as well. Okay, that came off really easily. Just undoing the two parts, and pulled it straight up through here, and that's the tube that came out. Here's the 986 throttle body. It's out. I decided to take the throttle body and the plenum out together. It seemed no reason to take them apart since I'm replacing both, and it was just as easy to do that. Just slid the collars back and popped it out. Pretty easy. Okay, so here's the cross tube, and you can see I pulled this out, and this thing here, which drives this little flap inside, has a vacuum hose. Okay, so now the thing is, this goes like this, the vacuum hose goes back in there somewhere. I'm going to have to find the other end of that vacuum hose, otherwise I'm going to be in big trouble. So now I had to get the snorkel out of here. So this is the vent thingy that I pulled out, and so pulled that out, and then the snorkel was in here, and you had to pull the snorkel out. But you see these little tabs here, these make it rather difficult, and I tried to pull it and I couldn't do it. So I took a big stick and put the big stick in there, reefed it to the side, and that snapped the thing out of place. Didn't damage it at all. It's fine. Not that I'm going to be using it anymore, but still. Okay, so there it is. It is doable. My God, that was a job, I'll tell you that. It does not like to come out. It's fairly big, and this thing here, the MAF holder, is really hard to get by. I had to take a big stick. Take my big stick, and I got it out of there. But it took a lot of willpower. So, and there's the hole that it came from. I had to move this. I had to undo the bolt and push it over. It just came out with a lot of force, even with that. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll end up taking that this thing off completely. Might be the best thing. See if I've ruined anything underneath. I ended up taking off the intake tubes, and took off the injector, the fuel rail. Well, the fuel rail is actually still here, but you can see that it can move around quite easily. Try to get myself enough space, or upside down here, but enough space in here to put in the big air box. That was quite the job getting the intake tubes off. There's just a few screws that are quite hidden behind some of this piping and things, which makes one of them, especially the one that's back in there, hard to get at. I've been trying to put the box in, but it's really, well, one of the things is getting held up on this, you know, and it's pushing in here on the fuel rail. And unless I want to take the fuel rail off completely, which I tried to do that, but I don't know. It's this. I don't know how this fitting. If it's just pressure fit. If it is, it's really on there tight, and I couldn't get it off. But I don't want to break anything, so I don't have to go and buy new parts all the time. So I'm trying to get it. That's why I tied it up with a big fat tie wrap. And next step is going to be this guy here. I'm going to bend it up. Well, still no luck, so next step is the oil cooler. Haha! So we're going to take out these little bolts, these 4 bolts here, there, and over there, and the oil cooler will lift out. I pinched off this tube. Hopefully it won't make too much of a mess. I've done this before, not on this car, but another car, and there's O-rings on the inside. I'll probably get a new set of O-rings before I put it back. As well as the throttle or the intake tubes that I took off. I didn't get any O-rings or gasket thingies for those. They look pretty good, although while it's out, it might as well, they're not expensive, we might as well get some new ones and put them in. And there it is! I wish I could say this was easy peasy. It ain't. Anyway, taking out the oil cooler, here it's sitting upside down, of course it flooded all over the place, was for me the trick. And after that it was a lot of wiggling and fair amount of force to get the thing in, and then all of a sudden, bang, it snapped right into place. And the bolts line up, so we should be good. Now I have to start putting everything back together, and then we'll work on the rest of it. The rest of it's pretty straightforward. This part was really the hard part. Really the hard part is taking out the 986 airbox and putting in the 987 airbox. There's a lot of things to be done. So, yeah, it's a job. I do hope you enjoyed part 1 of the Porsche Boxster S air intake modification. Part 2 will be available soon.